Okay, again, good morning and welcome to the next presentations of my methodology of research. As we finish already the conceptual framework, before we will proceed with the chapter 2, I would like to let you know that we have a definition of terms. When we say about definition of terms, it is the so-called operational definition. This operational definition, it is not based from the dictionary, but it is based on how it is being operated the operational way of the research of study. So here we have this definition of terms as admission, registration, and orientation. So we have to be aware what is this admission, registration, and orientation. So this is called, in this study, these terms consist of the process and people in the admission and registration of each student enrolling in any school of the university, which is followed by the procedures in assimilating the students to the campus. So meaning, this definition is given operationally based from the admission, registration, and orientation of the students who are enrolled in the university. Following next is the consumer satisfaction. I am referring to the students' satisfaction. Why they are consumers? Because they are the customers or direct clients of the university. Here, it is the ability of a business enterprise and satisfying the customers, which includes providing goods and services. In this study, however, this would refer to the winning approval and providing satisfactory services to the students on the different areas, in the different service areas, while the students are studying in the university. It means the consumer satisfaction is based from the client, based from the customers, which is the students. Of another operational definition. The third definition is the canteen food services. These canteen food services, as used in this study, is the services for making and selling quality and affordable food in the student body. So based again, operational definition that a canteen should not be selling higher price because the consumers are the students. It should be affordable by the student body. Okay? The next definition is the library services. In library services, we have these services consist of materials, resources. These material resources are books, the reading materials, the books materials that assist the students on their learning process. Meaning, these library services should have these following services to the students. So, future researchers, you must be aware of the definition of terms operationally. Okay? Next. The next one is the student services. Of course, the student services is the term as used in this study would refer to the programs, activities, methods in which students would be performing as parts of their co-curricular and extracurricular activities. This may include student discipline, health, and other concerns. So meaning, the student services are the ones who would cater the different services by the university. The so-called co-curricula, including in the curriculum of the courses and the extracurricular activities outside the curriculum. The next definition of term is the teaching, learning, and assessment. It means operationally, this means consistent of the faculty members their classroom management practices, the materials they use that facilitate learning processes inside and outside the classrooms, and the systems through which they measure student performance. In this case, we are referring to the students, the learning process that they made, and the assessments made by the different professors to the students. It is operationally defined also. Following next is the university environment. In university environment, we have the services done by the maintenance and cleanliness, referring to the restroom and washroom facilities, provisions of the safety and assurance of the cleanliness of the campus and its facilities. As the university is concerned that I am referring, the restroom is one of the cleanest facilities of the university. Why? Especially the female. Some female students, they stay in this restroom because the restroom is an aircon room. There is a lobby on it that the student could rest, could sit down, and could relax. And some students, they are studying in this restroom. Not an ordinary restroom, but it is a very conducive and convenient restroom to the students. Operational definition also. So now, let's proceed with the chapter 2 as I mentioned. In chapter 2, the title of chapter 2 is Review of Related Literature and Studies. Here, of my studies about accreditations, there are studies conducted already prior to my studies. That's why I have to review this for my related literature of studies. So, the related literature presented here were selected on the basis of their significance in promoting directions for this study. No actual thesis or dissertation were cited. Hence, there is still dearth of studies related to the study. Meaning, no such title of dissertation or thesis are similar with mine, but there are related only as far as the accreditation is concerned. The first topic here is the so-called conceptual literature. What is this? In conceptual literature, we have the foreign literature. In foreign literature, a consumer or customer, I should say, is an individual who buys products or services for personal use and not for manufactured or resale. A consumer is someone who can make the decision whether or not to purchase an item at the store, and someone who can be influenced by marketing and advertisements. Anytime someone goes to a store and purchases a toy, a shirt, beverage, or anything else, they are making that decision as a consumer. So investorwords.com is my reference. If you are citing any definition, as long as it is related to your studies, you always cite where you get it. Because if you did not cite it, you will mark as plagiarism, meaning you only copied it to somebody else. So it is being get from the investorsword.com. Okay, next. So my next one is the local. When we say about local, it is based on the locally based, not the foreign literature. Here, based on the traditional belief and unaccepted rule in marketing that customer is always right. which has been turning the most of the successful business in which their management staff would consider that satisfying customers is easily tasked, for it involves giving discounts, coupons, and or free candies or other giveaway, even free balloons. But, psychologically speaking, there are several ways of determining customer satisfaction, and some which are discussed in this study. But the real point is that customer satisfaction doesn't start with the customers but with some entities. How employees are satisfied with their jobs, that is, employees' level of satisfaction on their job is a manifestation of customer satisfaction. The quality of the customer satisfaction is of course a reflection to the employee satisfaction. The happy employees usually result to outstanding customer satisfaction. Here, based from the local studies and literature, that customer is always right. So when we say customer is always right, we always give them the privilege of the doubt that we have to pamper them because we are doing it to them because they are the one who will give us profit in a way. So the customer in the study is the student. Okay? Whatever your studies is, it will base on your customer. Next. Next is the aim of this section was to present literatures and studies relevant to this research and to provide a theoretical framework. The chapter begins with a review of definitions and some measurements of customers' satisfaction and service quality, and then follows by the relationships between customer satisfaction and service quality, which leads to the conceptual framework of the study and identification of variables and formulated a hypothesis in chapter 1. Okay, have you remembered the hypothesis that I made? That considering the fact that hypothesis is only a tentative answer. So meaning there is no such significance whatever the result is. Whatever the result, no significance further unless the studies are already done. So, I have to continue. Okay. The conceptual framework. When we say about conceptual framework, it is how it goes. It is a consumer or customers, I should say. It's an individual to buy products or services for personal use and or not for manufactured or resale. It is being mentioned already in the first slide, but I have to repeat it again so that you could fully understand. A consumer is someone who can make the decision whether or not to purchase an item at the store, and someone who can be influenced by marketing and advertisement. Anytime someone goes to a store and purchases a toy, a shirt, beverage, or anything else, they are making that decision as a customer. So meaning, whatever you want, you could buy because you are the customer. So, as came from the investorwords.com. So, Lars Partner, a PhD 2008, stated that the study of consumers help firms and organizations improve their marketing strategies by understanding issues such as, number one, how the psychology of how consumers think, feel, reason, and select between different alternatives. Example of the different alternative brands. In brand, we could have the alternative of brand. If you do not If you cannot afford to buy the original brand, there is the so-called generic brand, which is the sub-brands of that, which you cannot afford the expensive one. So there is the class A, the so-called generic, which is the class A. And products, aside from the brand, is the product. So we have also generic products. And the retailers. When we say retailers, if you have the stores, in the stores that you made, you have to purchase it in a bulk order. It is called as you will wholesale. After you wholesale that, you have to do that, the so-called, you have to make it a point that resale it, or you cut that in a small pieces. You could retail that to the customer so that you could earn your income out of that. And then, in case of university or college students, this work referred to the selection, rather say, selection of the university or college to enroll. It is a brand. And the course or degree, like they would finish, it is a product or service. Okay, I repeat. A university or college, it is considered as a brand. Why? Because you want, example, you want to enroll in a Harvard University. It is a brand of the university. But still, there are other university or college which is another brand that it could be affordable by your budget. And we are referring to the course or degree. It is the product. Say you want to take the course of engineering, but you cannot afford to finish that because engineering, it is long period of time studying. But instead, you want to get the course which is easier for you to manage or to take. So, you have the alternative. So, it is called as the choices. Okay? To continue with number 2, we finished number 1. Number 2 is the psychology of flow. The consumer is influenced by his or her environment. Okay, this his or her environment that influence the customers. Example, the culture. If you are from other country, you have a culture shock if you were going to another country. Family. If you came from the small family and then you group with the bigger family, is also another influence. The sign, the media, so they could consider as the psychological influence to the consumer or to the student. One can imagine on how would religion and ethnicity would influence the student's decision. Okay? Because religion, it is a debatable issue. When you say it is a debatable issue, you would insist your own religion, it is based from other religion. But if you will not be arguing with any religion, you will not talk more on religion. Okay? And ethnicity, we are referring, as I could say, ethnicity, Philippine is Filipino, but in terms of ethnicity, we have different ethnic groups there. We have the Tagalog groups, we have the Muslim groups, we have the Visayan group, we have the Maranao groups, we have the Igorot group. So those are ethnicity. It doesn't matter what kind of school you will enroll. And following next is the aside from the ethnicity would influence the student decision, the behavior of the student as consumers while studying or making other marketing decisions. Okay? It would influence their decision if they want to enroll in any university. Say ours is a Catholic university, but we are accepting other religion. We are not discriminating others, so that it would not influence the behavior of the students if they are enrolled in our university. So, limitation in students' consumers' knowledge or information processing abilities influence decision in marketing outcome. How consumers' motivation and decision strategies differ between products that differ in their level of importance or interest that they entail for the students, consumers, in how marketers, the universities and colleges can adapt and improve their marketing campaigns and marketing strategies to more effectively reach, entice, and satisfy consumers continuously. So meaning, as the marketers would give a due interest of importance to the consumers, which is the students. On defining consumer behavior, one official definition of consumer behavior is the study of individuals, groups, or organizations and the processes they use to select, secure, use, and dispose of products, services, experiences, or ideas to satisfy needs and the impacts that these processes have on the consumer and society. Although it is not necessary to memorize this definition, it brings up some useful points. Behavior occurs either for the individual, in case of this study, or students, or an organization. So people on the job make decisions as to which product the firm should use. In case of the students, the degree they would to finish the 4 or 5 years, the educational institution they would like to spend their life, and of course, this decision is dependent on the services, the institutions they are studying. So it means it would depend to the institution itself on how it goes. Okay? Next. Moreover, consumer behavior involves the use and disposal of products or services, as well as the study of how they are purchased, as evidenced by students paying of their fees. Product use is often of great interest to the marketer because this may influence how a product is best positioned, or can enough increase enrollment, since many environmental problems result from product disposal. Example, the motor oil being sent into sewage system to save the recycling fee, or garbage picking up at landfills. It is also an area of interest in case the university student choice is affected by the environment of the university, its cleanliness, the peace and security in and out of the campus, the quality of the facilities, and of course, the provisions of transport facilities, etc. are very, very important. So in relation with the consumer's behavior, towards the services of the university. Okay? Okay. The consumer behavior involves services and ideas as well as tangible products, as in the case of educational provided by universities and colleges. And lastly, the impact of consumer behavior on society is also a relevance. For example, aggressive marketing of high-fat food or aggressive marketing of easy credit may have serious repercussions of the national health and economy. So, in this case, we will not be harming the health of the students as our consumers and as our customers, because if they get high risk of diseases, if they more on fat, they could not continue their studies. They will drop in the subject, and as well as they will not continue with their studies. So in a paper presented by Ricky L. Boyd, 2011, he clearly stated that customer service is one of the precious commodities, which is effect to their organization is direct to their very basic business foundation. In the present economic situation, characterized by struggles and financial crisis, higher education institutions are facing serious continuous reductions in revenues due to the decrease in the enrollment. These higher education institutes are continuously developing and strategizing and searching for ways to do more with less. One way of colleges and universities to accomplish this strategic thrust and objective of putting an emphasis on a revitalized focus on meeting or exceeding the expectations and needs of customers, namely their students. One could argue that the impressive rate of student enrollment would mean increased profitability of the higher education institute that would consider as wake-up call to traditional colleges and universities. These trend issues are forcing higher education institute to craft plans and activities that meet their customers' needs. So it means that they are protecting the needs of the consumers or the students as well, because they are the one who is the basic customers of the university. Okay. Next. But what does customer service in a traditional higher education environment would mean and look like? Accordingly, there are several advantages and disadvantages of treating students as customers, and to suggest ways of integrating customer service principles into academic institutions, whether or not one is having a feeling of being comfortable identifying students as customers. So, traditionally in the higher education, environmental is important, the environment factor that would affect the learning habits of any student. Okay? Next. As I could say, the customer service in higher education. Customer service in higher education cited by Boyd, 2012. Of what kind of customer service should higher educational institution plan, design, and develop? The Turban, Lee, King, and Chung of 2002 highlighted that customer service should constitute a succession of activities designed to enhance the level of customer satisfaction in a way the given product or service has met the customer's expectation at increasing rates. Customer service is usually done in most educational institutions today, and there are even departments dedicated to providing students services. However, real customer service must involve more than a department or a handful of individuals. It means, as cited by the different authors given here, that the customer service is important to satisfy them. So these are the students that we are referring to be satisfied whatever service is being given by the university. Okay? The next. Okay, here, providing a true service-directed environment for their customer is the job of every people and the organization. And what is important is must start at the top, and the motivation of delivering has to be more than lip service. Some would argue that higher education has focused less on the process of providing good customer service and more on the absolute product or producing excellent educated graduates. So if students complete all the course requirements set before them by their faculty members, the institute would award them a diploma and recognition of their achievements. Here, we are pertaining that the services being given by the customers, the services given to the customers by the university, as far as the environment is concerned, could entice their studies to learn more and to be educated, because while they are in schools, they are also doing what it is best for them. In that case, they are accomplishing the different requirements, the course requirements set to them by the different faculty members of the different subjects. So the institute would recognize the students when they finish it. So they will be given an award as the diploma and recognition of their achievements. When you receive a diploma, it is the most awaited moment of every student. Why? Because they could see the fruits of their hardship, that it ended in a certain piece of paper, and that piece of paper is very, very important to them. It lies the success of their lives on that. So, higher educational institutions are not giving many worries or concern in determining whether students felt satisfied or not while completing their degree requirements. Institutions have a tendency to stress on what students need to work hard while at college to complete their degree, regardless they are happy or satisfied. So, meaning these educational institutions, they have to make sure that students do not make more worries. As long as that they have to complete the requirements, they could finish their degree and to be satisfied. It is so according to Emery, Kramer, and Tian, 2001, one said that students may not be excited about the hard work in the short run, but in the long run, the students will be very thankful of the excellent quality of education that prepared them and facilitate realities of the world outside the school. But should the end product, that is awarding a diploma, be the only concern of higher education institutions, it is very timely to look at both the advantages and disadvantages treating students as customers. Meaning, if you have the diploma, you make your life a long way. You could apply in any job it is related to it, and it improves your lifestyle, and it helps also your family, not even your family, but your relatives could benefit on it. Okay? To continue about the review of related literature and studies, we have just as implementing good care programs for customers typically results in increased profitability for businesses, higher education institutions that endeavor to attract and retain their customers, which is the students, must guarantee that customers are served well, treated well. The advantages of this approach include increased customer satisfaction and loyalty, increased retention, and increasing important revenue source for higher education institutions. The bottom line is institutions of higher education need students in higher education. As commenting about the relationship of students in higher education by Beju 2005 stated that the longer these ongoing transactions are satisfactory to both parties, the longer relationship will endure the benefits of everyone. So, Boyd 2012. Okay? As stated by the different authors here, states that they mention that as far as the profitability of business of the school is concerned, to retain the customers in the business. These customers are the students. Why we have to retain them? Because if the students are in school, they keep on paying, enrolled, and the schools will be profitable. If you will fail the students, the students will get out and look for another school. So, in that matters, your profit will decrease because there are students who will get out. But some professors, if they fail the students, other students, they will not transfer because maybe it is on their higher level of education. If you are in a higher level of education, it's very hard to transfer. You have to repeat again the different subjects being stated in the syllabus. So, in the curriculum, I should say. So, rather, they have to repeat the subject. In that matter, if they will repeat the subject, they will enroll again. They will enroll again. They will add an additional profit. In that matter, you retain the customer or the students as well. So the advantages here, the approach to the customer's satisfaction and they are loyal to you. If the university, my university, the schools is offering start from the preschool. When we say about the preschool, it is the lower level of education of the toddlers. They usually accept students or pupils 4 years old on the preschool level. After that, they graduated from the preschool, they goes on the elementary level. Then they proceed with the secondary level. In the secondary level, we have the new system of education now. We have the K-12 system. The K-12 system, they have to finish that up to grade 12. So in the grade 7 to 10, they will consider as the so-called junior high school. And on the K11 and 12, it is their senior high school. The senior high school, they have to enroll it in the higher level, the higher education institution, it's college. So, there are students that they used to satisfy themselves, they enrolled again, they did not transfer rather. They stay in the university. They consider themselves as the loyal students to the university. So meaning you have another profit out of that because the students are being satisfied. They did not go to the different universities. Okay. Okay, here. To achieve better service to students as customers. It is quoted by Ewers 2010, suggested that higher educational institutions must require their employees to attend customer service training sessions to learn the basics of customer service. Yet, many in academic institutions find this a hard pill to swallow for several reasons, like limited budget, no common time, and unwillingness of the service provider to participate. Regarding the benefits of good customer-student relationships, stated by Emery et al. 2001, remarked that student-customer satisfaction directly correlates to larger enrollments. Happy and satisfied students stay in their school until they graduate, such that the retention rates remain high, which is definitely correct. As a result, there are more enrollees in the institution, hence bringing directly higher revenues. So, Beju 2005 stated that loyalty remains high if the needs of students are provided, resulting to the high satisfaction of students. Bale 2008 further pointed out by saying that education is clearly a service and not a product in higher education. Thus, they have to mind responsible to the characteristics, needs, and expectations of the students, their customers, and clients by Boyd 2012. So, in these matters, we are referring to the good service to the students as the customers that retain in the university on to the maximum level of their wants. In that case, They also encourage other friends to enroll also, or to come with them and see the facilities and services in the university. And if they are encouraged, they will enroll. In this matter, they are all happy. The employees will be happy because they will have a salary increase. The owner of the school will happy because of the profit that's higher, and the revenue as well. As well as the students, they will be also happy because they give to them the much needed facilities or services that they want, if ever they needed it. Though it is not being needed, but the university should give it to them. The expectation, it is the best way to give the most of it to the maximum. Okay? So, on the other hand, it is worthy to discuss the disadvantages of treating students as customers. To oppose the students as our customers paradigm. By Demetriou 2008 argued that satisfaction is not a suitable measure of quality in higher education. In business arena, it is correct to treat that a customer is always right. However, in education or in the academe, the student is not always right. Definitely correct. He argued that an important part of the college involves students learning from other mistakes and facing the cost of their actions. These are risks and dangers to colleges and universities competing for customers. Bale 2008 went on by saying higher education has to be careful not to think of the student as a customer in the conservative sense assumed by a profit-oriented businesses. Businesses compete for customers and schools of higher learning, on the other hand, should work hard and to attract the best students. Institutions need to be careful that as they compete for students, they do not mislead prospective students about what life on campus will be like, as stated by Boyd 2012. Clearly then, need for a middle ground and a discussion about customer needs as it revealed to students in higher education. So, in this matter, we are pertaining that though there is a saying that customer is always right, not applicable to the institution or to the colleges. And why? Because in college we have to give the quality of education to the students. We have to teach them very well so that the students could learn. Aside from learning that they have, we have to train them to become a good citizen in the community, not only in the community but even in the world. It could become the good graduates of the university and make sure that their knowledge is not being bought only by money. We do not give a diploma without learning. So meaning, they learn first before it is being given. We will satisfy them by means of the lecture given to them. The service is given to them, but it should be compensated with the good performance of the student also. Because if the students will not study, definitely they will drop, or they will fail the subject. So the university do not want the graduates who are failed. So definitely, we are on the level of accreditation 2. We are producing graduates which is called as globally competitive. When we say about globally competitive, it could compete to the different universities of other nations, our graduates. Okay? Regardless, to continue, regardless whether one calls students customers or not, there are some basic doctrines of the customer service paradigm that would and should be utilized in higher education settings. According to the Demetrio 2000, the quality of service of the higher education institute is providing their students a very important. Thus, there is some specific information that academic advisors and other institutional officials can follow in providing quality service. And this is according to Boyd 2012. Everyone has the responsibility of treating students with dignity and respect, since this is an essential human necessity and right. Every service provided must give students clear directions on how to solve their problems and issues, and students should not be given the run around simply they don't deserve. Students are accolades to study and learn, not go on a wild goose chase all over campus, trying to find answers to simple questions and to responsive to students and their parents. For example, if a service provider tell a parent he or she will call them back today, they should call them back today, as stated by Award 2010. Being true to world means a lot to students, and their families should be one of the golden rules in this kind of business. So in this matter, we are referring to the higher education institute, that they are reminding the students that students in college are different in the elementary and from the secondary. Why they are different? In elementary or the preschool, the teacher should taught very well, so that it is the foundation of their education. In secondary, the students, they know a little, and it is being found there by means of the teachers of the different subjects. When it comes to the higher, which in college, the more that they should know how to manage themselves, because not all the times the professors are in their side. In this matter, the professors are only the guide. In this guide, they will give them particular doings or needed requirements as indicated in the course syllabus. So it might they will fail the students, but definitely they will. The main purpose of education is to impart knowledge to the students, because the students are the customers. And these customers, we have to give them, return back what they paid to us. They paid in terms of their tuition fee. Therefore, we will pay them also by means of the quality teaching, the services, the facilities, in all aspects of accreditation that will give to them all. Okay? The higher education institute should always give timely answers to students' questions and regular feedback on their progress. Hence, the success of the institutions is reliant upon their capacity in providing high quality service to every student in their institution. One has to remember deeply. Remember that every student affects the substructure of the organization. Employees that are considered as service provider need to be reminded that every single one of them, regardless of their level of interference with students, is the business of serving excellently each student. Everything is woven together in the institution. The students deserve to receive assistance to meet their legitimate needs. When it comes to experiencing service satisfaction, perception is reality in the minds of every student. It is important to understand the student in order to deliver service in a manner that is perceived to be satisfying to the student. So it means that all of these are all referred to the students. We give the high quality service. When we say high quality service, we will give the most of it. We will not make a reservation out of the quality, because students are our number one client, customers. They give us much needed income, profit, revenues, and so on. So we will have to satisfy them. Okay? So each student is exceptionally. Thus, it is important to understand the exceptional qualities of each student in order to provide service that meets their individual needs. Employees should follow a variation of the golden rule by treating students the way that they would want their son or daughter to be treated. It is hard to recover from a mistake. So when it comes to service to students, every effort should be made to do it right the first time. There is a need to solicit feedback from students at all times, and then listen, especially when it hurts. How else can a high level of service be measured? As cited by Boyd, 2012, the other 8 principles do not translate as easily to higher education. Boyd 2005 and Wiles 2010 both studied customer service, but from different perspectives. He regarded the organization as a whole and considered that what employees can do to treat students like customers. He also look at personal effort and creativity within the organization to produce course service by Bayou 2005. Wallace addresses the total concept of customers that provide customer service. Wallace 2010. So in this matter, the golden rule says that students should not be hurt. Students should solicit a good feedback from them. And this feedback could give us more additional information for them on how we will give them the best or the quality education. If we are giving the so-called evaluation to them, we also give evaluation. The student also give evaluation to us. In this aspect, we learn also from our students. That's why we will not hurt them. We will pamper them. We will give them the most out of it. Because, as I said, they are the customers, the clients of ours. And we will be going to the next presentation. The next will be the continuation. My next is my continuation. Okay?